Comment basically means your view, your stand. When you watch a movie, you watch this video, you comment, or you see a beautiful girl or an handsome guy, you comment. So it's basically your stand or your view. So in a game of cricket, Sanjay Manjrekar or Navjot Singh Sidhu who keeps commenting are the best people who come to our mind. But just that it has to be backed up with sound reasoning in UPSC. Then examine critically, it means, of course, Arnab Goswami is the person who comes to our mind. That doesn't mean that you go into the fault finding mode. Hello everyone, hope all of you are safe and healthy. I welcome you all to IASababa series on answer writing, that is Aware, wherein I'll be taking you through 7 steps to master answer writing skills. I hope you have watched the first 2 steps, that is the 10 myths and how to approach an answer writing, and also the first part of the 3rd step, that is how to structure an answer, wherein I have discussed 5 different ways of introducing an answer, 5 different ways of concluding an answer, and also how you should write the body, the different dimensions that you should get into the body, all that. So why am I stressing this is because only if you have watched the first part of it, then the second part of it, which talks about the keywords and directives like comment, analyze, examine, critically comment, critically evaluate, etc. This makes it more meaningful only if you have watched the first part of it. So if you have not watched, do watch it. And also you can comment below if this series has made any difference in your answer writing, or given that push towards answer writing. You can comment below with an hashtag IASababa. Clear? Then coming to the directives and keywords here, this particular session, I think among all the the entire 7 steps, I feel this becomes important because there's a lot of confusion created in students. So my only intention here is to simplify things, use common sense, and put it across in a very simple way so that you will understand how do you actually structure an answer, what role the keywords play in an answer. In fact, it was one of the myths that I had discussed in the 10 myths, which said like for every answer I should write 5 positives, 5 negatives, or every answer should have a balanced opinion, right? So that doesn't hold good. Yeah, at the end of the day, it is the demand of the question and the supporting role played by the directives given here. So let's go with the there are around 15 directives which I'll be discussing here, and this is the first directive, that is comment. See, comment, what do you mean by comment? It is nothing but your view, your opinion. You watch a movie, you watch a movie, you comment. You watch this video, you comment. Of course, do comment saying IASababa. Then you see a beautiful girl, you comment, or you see an handsome guy, you comment. So basically it means your opinion, right? Your expression of opinion. So the best people in the game of cricket, if at all you're following it, so would be Sanjay Manjrekar, right, who had commented about Jadeja. It is more, as I said, comment is nothing but your opinion on something. But that comment, or even Navjot Singh Sidhu is one best example here. He used to comment on everything, but that comment in UPSC should be backed with sound reasoning. Clear? So you are expressing your opinion backed by sound reasoning. So let's see with help of examples here. So caste system is assuming new identities and associated forms. Hence the caste system can be eradicated in India. Comment. So here, once I read the question, it says caste system cannot be eradicated, but I would not agree to it. I mean, I'll place the challenges and also I'll say how it can be eradicated here. So that is my viewpoint here. So the new identities in terms of political wherein political parties are formed, or separate in economical angle where separate reservations are based on based on the caste. So all that, or the societal angle. So different identities formed because of the caste system is what I'll be discussing. What are the challenges and how the caste system can be eradicated. I feel the caste system can be eradicated in India if these are the steps taken. So that is my view. So that opinion is what I'll be expressing here. Clear? Then safeguarding the Indian art heritage is the need of the moment. So here for me there's nothing like negative to see. Always keep this in mind that you need not have to write both the sides at all times. It as I said, the essence becomes very important here. The essence of the question says safeguarding the Indian art and culture. Of course, it is the need of the moment, and don't consider it to be the present time. This, I think, it was asked in 2015-16. Now though, because of COVID and all, you can give an argument saying that there are much bigger issues to tackle all that. But going with that, I mean, considering the normal situation, of course, safeguarding Indian art and heritage is very important, because it tells you the development and the growth of Indian culture. It is a treasure to the future generation. So I'll be giving what are the challenges involved and how you can safeguard the art and heritage. So I'll be giving one-sided view here, right? So this is how the words, the directives will play a role in structuring your answer. Clear? So moving on to the next one, that is discuss here. So discuss, basically what do you mean by discuss? It is nothing but when 3 people are sitting together, 4 people are sitting together, you discuss, you come up with different perspectives, right? It is like more like an argument. You say a statement and you back it up with sound reasoning. So that is the meaning of discuss. So again, coming to cricket, the best people who are good debaters in cricket is Ravi Shastri and Harsha Bogle. They are the best in terms of debates and discussions, and these are the people who should come to your mind when you are actually writing an answer, so that it becomes easy for you to get a proper structure, right? And or the parliament. The parliament is another best example. When you think of the word discuss, right? These are the pictures that should come to your mind. Clear? So then let us see it through the examples here. So it says recent amendments to RTI Act will have a profound impact on the autonomy and independence of the Information Commission. Here again, as I said, debates and discussion, there is a point of view where it has, you can argue saying that it has made an impact on the autonomy and independence of Information Commission. Another side of argument where it says it has not made an impact. So both the sides of the argument can be put, and finally you can draw a logical conclusion to it. Next, in the absence of well-educated and organized local level government system, panchayats and samitis have remained mainly political institution and not effective instrument of governance. Basically, it talks about the role played by the well-educated and the organized local level government in making this panchayats and samitis and as an effective tool of governance. So here, one side of argument, you can say what role these two things play in making them very effective. Other side, wherein you can say the well-educated, more than well-educated, it requires a person who has empathy and a person who can be trained and who has the ability to learn, right? That is more important than being well-educated. So that is the other line of argument you can bring out here. Clear? So let's move on to the next one. So the third directive, analyze. Analyze, again, if I have to think of a cricketer here, it would be the best one person would be Dhoni here, who comes to my mind. He analyzes the situation and accordingly he strategizes. Here also, when there is the word analyze, you need to break the question into different parts, into its constituent parts, and try to address it, right? For example, let us see it through an example here. What are the salient features of inclusive growth? Salient features of inclusive, has India been experiencing such a growth process? Analyze and suggest measures for inclusive growth. Every keyword should be addressed. So the salient features of inclusive growth is nothing but the disparities between the rich and poor, or disparities in terms of per capita income of the people should be reduced. All the sections of the society, be it old age, women, children, physically handicapped, tribal, should be included in the course of development. All the sectors, be it economy, be it agriculture sector, industry sector, all that should be included, right? This, and whether all the sections are playing a participative role in the development. So this is the meaning of salient features of inclusive growth. Then the next question is a direct one, which says part. It says, has India been experiencing the growth process? Analyze and bring out the issues. So what you have to do is, these are the 4 parts which I have told you with respect to different sections, different sectors, participation, disparities in income, etc. So all that should be analyzed individually. So that is the meaning of divide the issue into different constituent parts and try to address it, and you have to suggest measures accordingly. So this is the meaning of analyze. Here the next one says, what are the different types of agricultural subsidies given to the farmers at the national and state levels? Critically analyze the agricultural subsidy regime with reference to the distortions created by it. So different types of agricultural subsidies are fertilizer subsidy, then power subsidy, credit subsidy, seed subsidy, right? There are so many subsidies. So you can bring out that directly here, and it is critically analyzed. So you bring out all the subsidies. For example, fertilizer subsidy. What is happening is too much of urea based one is promoted. Again, that is leading to infertility of the soil, and sometimes this for whatever subsidy that is given, like seed and all, there should be a documentation process, proper documentation saying that this land belongs to that person, and only then the subsidy will be given. But what is happening is that is actually garnered by the elite farmers. So these are actually the intention of the subsidy concept is good, but it is not being used in the right direction, in the sense in terms of implementation there are loopholes, as it is not going to the targeted people, right? Or here in this case where it is being misused. So these are the different dimensions that you can bring in, or in terms of power subsidy also, right? So these are the different things that you need to bring in. And the other thing that I want to stress here is there are instances where it is critically analyze, critically comment, critically examine. Basically the word critically comment, it means it is fault finding, and the person that comes to my mind, or all of our mind, is Arnab Goswami, right? So this is the best person that we can think of when we say critically comment or critically. Of course, it means being critical of the issue. That is, you need to find the faults. That I would say 60% of it, at least minimum 60% of it, should focus on the negative things, and remaining 30 to 40% should focus on the other aspect of it. But again, having said this need not be the hard and fast rule, because there are questions like, should the bureaucracy be separated from the political system? Critically comment. That doesn't mean that you need to bring in both the position. See, always go by the essence of the question. That is the reason I said best principle that you need to follow for structure is understand the essence, then the keywords. So here, just because critically comment is given or critical analysis is given, doesn't mean that you should negate that statement itself. The overall universal value or the essence of the statement says the political system, the bureaucracy should be separated from the political system. There you cannot apply this rule. Clear? So please keep this in mind. I'm stressing so much here because this becomes so important, because students get confused. There's nothing like hard and fast rule that you should follow. It should be on the essence. You don't try to negate the statement just because it says critically analyze or critically comment. Depending on the demand of the question, your structure varies, your analysis varies. Clear? So please keep this in mind. Coming to the next directive, that is examine. Examine simply means to investigate, to inspect, to assess the evidence, the strength of the evidence on both the sides, right? So that is the meaning of examine. Or here you need to bring out the Sherlock Holmes in you, right? Or the Desi version of Sherlock Holmes, that is Bomesh Bakshi in you. And let us see it through the examples here. How does illegal transborder migration pose a threat to India's security? So this illegal migration per se, right? Why does it happen? Because of the internal strife or persecution of the minorities, or even lack of development opportunities, or unstable government, right? So these are the reasons with which, because people migrate from one, illegal migration happens from one country to another. And how is it acting as a threat to the country? Of course, these are the things that should be done. Next, it says examine the strategies to curb this and bring out the factors which give impetus to such migration. So that is what I've already discussed, and here you need to bring out examine the strategies like border fencing and border patrolling. So is it a potent tool? Then the technologies used, space technology and navigation technology that is used, is it actually helping out in curbing the illegal migration, or the cooperation between the two countries? What are the issues there? So these are the things that should be discussed here. Clear? And coming to the next question, which is, will the amended UAP Act, that is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, strengthen the counter-terrorism activities? Again, there are both the sides to this, wherein this was under controversy because the recent amendment said the police can designate anybody as terrorist, and they can arrest them without any procedures to be followed, and also so arrested people cannot have any grievance redressal mechanism. That is why it was on the controversy. You need to see how this UPA Act is actually helping it to bring down terrorism activities, and also at the same time, what are the controversial features into it. Clear? So let's move on to the next one. The next directive, that is Elucidate. Elucidate is nothing but you explain it with an example, with a pie chart, with a graph, with a flow chart, or a case study, right? So that is the meaning of illustrate. You try to explain it. Basically you need to substantiate with all this. It can be anything in this. In fact, I want to tell you this. See, it need not be only in illustrate. Of course, in all the answers, wherever you are writing points, wherever you have examples, you need to support your statements with examples. So illustrate mainly talks about the examples here. So here it says what is meant by conflict of interest. So you define what is conflict, then it says illustrate with examples itself the difference between actual and potential conflicts. So it can be like you are the interview board member, and one of your relatives is the person who is the selected candidate, right, who comes to the interview. So again, there's a conflict of interest there. Or you are a DC who is floating the tender, and one of your cousins or relatives or your friend has come to bid for the tender. Again, there's a conflict of interest there, right? Or the potential conflicts are nothing but in the future. For example, it is said that in 2G scam also, the best example here is 2G scam, where it was said that the spectrum allocation was given based on the first come first serve basis and the superior technology, right? So then it might be not an actual conflict of interest, but in future afterwards it became a potential conflict of interest, right? So these are the examples that you can give. That is nothing but, as I said, you have to give examples and substantiate here. So here it says communalism arises either due to power struggle or relative deprivation. Argue by giving suitable illustrations. Again, one part of the argument you should say how power struggle has actually led to communalism. That is nothing but in the national movement, the best example can be given there, right? Or even in fact that actually led to even partition of the country, right? That can be here given here. Or relative deprivation in terms of job opportunities, what is happening in Jammu Kashmir, where the youths do not have job opportunities there, so that can also lead to communalism. So these examples with basically, see, what I'm trying to tell you is basically with examples you need to give the arguments here. The next directive is evaluate or assess. Evaluate, to put it in very simple terms, it is nothing but weigh the pros and cons of an issue, and whichever side it weighs more, you conclude it accordingly. So it is, or to put it even simple terms, like say I'm evaluating a copy, so I'll see the positives or the good points and I'll give you marks accordingly, right? So that is nothing but evaluation or assessing something. And this kind of question, this kind of words are usually used in what do you say, policies, examining certain things, policies after a certain years, all that. So for example, it says evaluate the policies of Lord Curzon and the long term implications. So here policies like wherein partition of Bengal, right, that led to Swadeshi movement, right, love for their own products, or the education policies, university policies that Lord Curzon brought in, that you need to evaluate. And but there also, like what Lord Curzon did is he tried to put his prejudices, the racism, or believe that the Britain had come to civilize the nation, Indian nation. So all this were reflected in his policies, and at the same time, what were the long-term implications, which actually, in fact, National Congress became even more effective after the tenure of Lord Curzon. Clear? So these are the things that you need to evaluate. Next question is, the state of Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand are reaching their limits of their ecological carrying capacity due to tourism. Ecological carrying capacity basically means the ecosystem, what population it can sustain with the resources available. This is to put it in very simple terms. So you should have clarity in this sense. So here it says, of course, it is actually limiting the ecological carrying capacity, and how actually tourism is limiting the carrying capacity should be discussed. However, you can give the other side of the argument. It is not only the tourism but also the ill-planned or unplanned development that is happening without environmental impact assessment, or the farming practices, right, that has been carried on. All this can be the reason also that that is actually leading to the reduction in the carrying capacity of that ecosystem, right? So these are the things that you should be discussing here. You need to evaluate both the sides of it. Clear? So let's move on to the next directive, that is explain elucidate, elaborate, and describe. I would classify all this to be one. So before this, I would like to say any particular question, you just put why and how before the starting of the question. You will get an idea what should be written. In fact, the analyze is nothing but the more of it is how and whys of it. Debate is why, and examine is whether. Like as I said, whether the border patrolling and the border fencing is actually playing a role in curbing the illegal migration. So just put this what, why, how, whether, all that will actually help you in simplifying things much better. Especially the whys and hows is what should be addressed in mains exam. So please keep this in mind. So explain, elucidate, elaborate, describe is nothing but you have to give more clarity on the issue with proper evidences, proper examples, the whats and whys and hows and where, all that. So this is what the explain actually means, right? And so these are the questions here. What is wetland? Explain the concept. So sometimes technical words you need to explain. That is what it says. So it's a direct question where in the structure is actually defined by the demand of the question here. Here globalization is generally said to promote cultural homogenization, but due to this cultural specificities appear to be strengthened. What it says is because of globalization homogenization is happening, but however at the same time there are certain things, specificities, which is actually getting in Indian society. This is what you need to actually explain. For example, actually globalization is nothing but movement of ideas, people, technology, etc. So with technology actually what is happening is, in fact at places it has helped in preserving the local documents or artifacts, or even it has given a new market to the tribal goods, or even Chanpatna toys are being sold on the online platforms like Amazon, all that. So these examples can be given. How globalization is impacting the caste system, right? That can be also given, and how it has actually reduced the differences, and how inter-caste marriages, inter-religious marriages are happening, but at the same time, there are deaths that is happening, honor killings are happening. So these are different arguments that you need to give with examples. You need to explain, or how the lifestyle has changed, etc. can be given here. Then the next question says Swachh Bharat mission is not only a cleanliness campaign but also a social economic movement. So basically the how part, how is it basically, as I said, the whys and hows should be addressed. How is it actually acting as a social economic movement should be explained. So basically here it means all the way from the children to the celebrities have got involved, the entire society has got involved. It has become a complete social movement. Because of reduction in open defecation, it has actually led to a productive economy. The health status has increased, the time spent, the money spent is reduced. So this is how it has become a social economic movement. Moving to the next keyword, that is substantiate or justified. As the name suggests, you need to support it. So you need to support the statement, but do you have to support at all times? You need to provide basically the proof, but whether do you need to support at all times is the biggest question here. That I'll explain it through the examples here. So it says, first one says, how critical is civil service reforms in good governance? So substantiate, of course, civil service reforms becomes very important, and you can completely substantiate this statement in one side. Coming to the next one, it says self-help groups are the panacea for the rural self-reliance. Substantiate. Here, see, the word panacea means it is a cure for all problems. I would not say this is a cure for every problems of rural here, because of course self-help groups have played a very important role in terms of credit facility, or bringing the awareness in people, or even market mechanisms, or even job opportunities, all that. But however, like bigger problems like health and education, the support of the government is required there. So I would give both the sides of the view. So usually when we say substantiate, even if there are other counter arguments, what we can do is we can measure like 70% of your answer can be of one view, and you can say, however, these are the issues that comes across. But again, it depends on the essence of the question here. Clear? Is diversity and pluralism in India under threat? Justify your answer. So here I can give both the side of the argument, just like in the previous question that I discussed about the globalization in terms of how is it impacting the caste system, right? or the gender differences or the family system, all that can be brought in here. Do you think it is? I would say finally I would conclude that the diversity and pluralism is not actually impacted. In fact, it is strengthened because of globalization, and I'll be giving my answer. See, it can be any of your argument. You whatever decision you take, whatever means you are taking, right, line of thought you are taking, you need to actually justify whatever the line of argument is. Clear? So that is how you can write an answer for this particular question. Moving on to the next one, that is enumerate. See, I would say 90% you would not find, 90 or 95% of the questions you will not find this word at all. It's very rare, and even if you find that, it is a very simple one. Enumerate is nothing but list of points. So it says enumerate the provisions of RTA Act, or enumerate the provisions of recently amended. So it is basically you need to list the provisions of it, and you need to explain it. So this is a very simple directive. Let's move on to the next one, that is why and hows of it. So here, more than a directive, here the question is directly asking you why and how. So here you don't have to break your head for what are the directives here. For example, here it says how was India benefited from the contributions of Sir M. Visvesvaraya. You need to say how directly. There's nothing here wherein you have to get confused with the words like critically, analyze, all that. So directly it says what should be written. It's a straightforward question. What are the impediments, right, in disposing? How do we remove this remove safely of the toxic? All are direct questions. Citizens Charter it itself says identify the limitations and suggest measures. So that is how your body of the answer gets divided. Clear? So this directly tells the body. For example, you start off with the definition of Citizens Charter, right, and then says is an ideal instrument of transparency. How is it actually helping in bringing transparency and accountability? Then you can say what are the limitations to it. That will be the subheading. Then you say the measures for it. So that is the structure of this particular answer. Coming to the next one, I would classify all this as miscellaneous. All the keywords here like compare, differentiate, contrast, distinguish, you don't have to worry too much on this. Understand, however, if you have a simple understanding of the English, I mean, you can easily answer here. Compare is basically bring out the similarities and differences. Differentiate, contrast, distinguish is nothing but to do with differences alone. Clear? Then throw more light is more to do with, is a combination of illustrate and explain. Examples and try to explain it with evidences, examples, etc. Argue is more to do with discuss or debate. Give your arguments, do you agree, bring out the relationship between. Again, these are the other things that you can come across in the UPSC questions. When you say do you agree, all that, see whatever is your viewpoint, take a stand and try to substantiate it. As I said, don't worry that okay, just because you're giving your one-sided view, you'll get lower marks. It is not so. I've explained it with examples, right? So just go back to the videos from the initial thing. You will get a clear idea of what should be the structure, what should be the thought process, right? Then comes here, yeah, as I said, give arguments in favor of your answer, the nature of economic growth in recent times, or throw light on the significance of thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi. So this I've already explained here. Clear? So these are the keywords or the directives that is given at the end of the question, beginning of the question, or in the middle of the question. And now you must have understood what difference it makes to your answer, right? Especially the structuring of your answer, which is so important in UPSC. And don't have this preconceived notions or have one size fits all policy. As I've clearly explained, the essence of the question becomes more important. Just because critically evaluate or critically comment is given doesn't mean that even if there is no negative, you try to bring out the negativity out of here. It is not that. Don't try to negate the statement. Instead, try to understand and address the essence, and then support it with the keywords given at the end of the question, right? And if there's any difference that this session has made in your preparation of answer writing, do comment below with an hashtag IASababa. And also do remember that you can beat this competition only when you are the best version of yourself. So that constant everyday improvement, right, self-evaluation is the key towards success. Keep this in mind, and I'll come again with the next step, that is the importance of presentation, right? That is the flowcharts, diagrams, subheadings, etc., which again plays a very important role. In fact, a main role in terms of getting that 450 plus, right, marks. So thank you and all the best.